Hey, everybody. Welcome to another Women's World of Fishing Monday Night Takeover with Barbara and Angie. I see the time is 8:01. It just went to 8:02. So we are cutting it down. We were so close. Angie just had a little bit of a computer issue, but we're good now. So this is awesome. It's actually, I'm going to wait just a couple of minutes because, I know I repeat this at the beginning of every episode, but we stream out to a lot of the different places with Twitter and YouTube and Facebook, and it takes those notifications quite a few minutes to go out. So just want to wait until it has time to catch up. So real quick, we're busy girls.
So busy
this last week, and I don't feel this week having any relief. I feel like, wait, aren't we getting ready to leave to go somewhere? Where are we going?
Yeah, so it's insane that it's already time to start getting ready and packing our bags to head to Lake Hickory in North Carolina, and I'm like, "Wah!" Yet again, it's crazy, crazy, crazy.
I'm feeling a little overwhelmed too. But you know what I noticed this week? You all, the professionals, you all have it easy when it comes to preparation to leave.
I don't know about that.
You all have everything in your boat. You could just be like, it's all Deanna, which if you've seen the notification, you know that Deanna is our guest for tonight. So she's backstage and she can see and hear us, but she doesn't come live until we actually let her through. And I see her back there like, nope.
That's
You
what
don't
I'm
know. You don't
that's what
know.
I'm saying, but
Yeah, I have to take their recommendation, their advice into it because they've done both. So I might give them a little bit of credit on that one, but it feels to me like I just took everything out of my boat, and if my car would float, I would be ready to go.
Hey, I
But
have one quick thing, and we can maybe talk about this when Deanna comes on, but really cool. So, I've got this new live scope set up on my boat with the Garmin units, which all is brand new to me, and it took me a minute to figure out how to get it set up with the trolling motor that I have, which you experienced when we were out on Ray Hubbard for practice day, and we had some issues with the way it was rigged up, and I had to abort that mission for that tournament. But I'm trying to learn all this, and I it came to me that there's a really good guide out here on my lake, Brian Carper, who I took out my first guide trip ever several years ago now, and he offers an electronics class. And so I'm like, I need to reach out to Brian and get an electronics class set up. So I reached out to him literally yesterday morning, and we got it scheduled for Thursday. So I'm going to get that knocked out before we leave for Hickory and really learn all the ins and outs and fine tune my settings on that unit. And I'm super excited about that. And Deanna probably knows Brian, I'm guessing. But so that's really cool. I'm stoked for that.
hopefully you'll retain all that for at least a week and a half.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna see if and I'm not going out with Brian actually. He's got another guide in his group, Steven, that's gonna take me out, and he's supposed to be really, really good with the live scope. So I'm probably gonna see if he's okay with it, if I can take some video, that way I can go back and reference it.
Nice. I can't wait to see it. I've briefly looked over on somebody else's boat and they've shown me what it's looked like, but I've never actually been on a boat whenever they've been using it. So I'm excited to peek at it whenever we're pre-fishing. So that'll be
Awesome.
cool.
And hey, we got some ladies already on watching us. We've got Shannon Wells
Hey,
and
Shannon.
Pam Horn is
Hey, Pam.
watching, and Melissa from Yamaha. She says it wouldn't say that's easy being a
Oh,
boater.
is that who? It just came up as Facebook user. So I said,
Yeah.
probably not.
Yep, so I've got the woman angler and adventure on one screen over here that I'm gonna be monitoring tonight. I kind of sort of got my act together this week, and then I've got the group, the woman angler and adventure Facebook group on the other screen, so I can see who Facebook user is since it doesn't tell
Okay.
us.
If you want, well, you don't have to. That's probably enough. Um, I was going to say if you want to check over on mine because I'm going to be um, putting quite a few things up for Deanna because she has so much hardware that I really should have thought twice about having her on the week before we go to Hickory because I'm just like, oh my goodness, I got to put this picture up and this picture and everything has to fit on there because I'm telling you, this girl, she's had quite a few years, you know.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
she's
trophy after trophy. And finally, I just had to narrow it down and put the ones up that I personally would like to have at some point in my career that it's just amazing. She's amazing.
yeah,
So,
for sure. Well, before
but
we bring her on, I wanted to give a quick shout out to for everybody about the podcast that I have coming out tomorrow because I think it's going to be really helpful, especially if you're a tournament angler. I'm featuring Angie Thompson, and if you're not familiar with Angie, she's a veteran in the fishing business. She's worked for ESPN Outdoors, she's worked for BASS, and she has a new podcast out. It's been out for a while actually, but it's called the Fishing Business Podcast. And she also has the Fishing Business School. And what it's centered around is teaching anglers how to grow your brand, market yourself, and attract sponsors, which is so important these days because, as we know, fishing tournaments is a very expensive endeavor. And so it definitely helps to have some sponsors on board to help assist with some of those expenses. If you want to go to the level where you're going to be doing this professionally, like as a living, you really, really need to learn the business side of fishing to be able to make it work. So that's coming out tomorrow morning on the Woman Angler and Adventure podcast. So hopefully anybody interested in that, in the kind of the back end side of the fishing business, will check that out.
okay, and just to go on off of that, and I could totally be wrong on this because we all listen and watch so many different things, but didn't you have on a really popular interview that was about nothing but the business side?
I'm
Didn't
sure
you
I
have Al in
did.
there?
Oh yeah, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure,
and
yeah.
that's all he talked about was the
Right.
business side and how women are needed
Mm-hmm.
in the business.
Yeah,
So that
Al's
would
a
be a good episode too, because he
yeah,
really put that out there.
yeah.
So,
More women involved in fishing, and so and of the Woman Angler and Adventure podcast. So that was a really special episode to have him on the show.
yeah, it was a while ago, but I always
Hmm.
remembered that because to hear him say that, I was like, wow, that
Yeah,
was pretty cool.
very
So
cool.
awesome. Well, I am going to take that down and we are going to get ready to bring up the Lady Bass Anglers Association 2020 Professional Rookie of the Year, Deanna Laverne. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready, Deanna. Ready? Okay, we're going to go ahead and bring you on. Okay, can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I can. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yep, we can hear you. Thank you so much for being on the show. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Are you
You are welcome.
are you ready for Hickory?
I'm getting there, and like y'all were talking earlier. No, I have every tournament I've ever gone to. I have a list, and I make the list out. It's the same list, and I don't keep the same list for some reason. I have to sit down and write it down. I need Make certain I've got all my rods redone. I got my tackle, my life jacket, my rain suit. Angela laughs at me because I've always been a list girl. And I do. It's sitting on my kitchen table right now. So when I think of something else, I'm like, oh, I got to write that down. So I make certain I have that with me. So, yeah.
Nice.
So it's going to be a week-long thing for you.
Yes.
But you have everything in your boat.
Everything got wet Saturday. So it's all out, drying out, hanging up. Rods are out. They're all back here in the fishing room because everything got soaked Saturday when we were on Old Hickory. So
you're on Old Hickory Saturday. I was out on Priest in that same rain.
Yeah.
And it was kind of nice. I don't know what it was like on Hickory, but out on Percy Priest it was like just smooth and calm. I mean, the rain was coming down, but it was super peaceful out there. Even though I was getting wet, I was like, this is kind of nice.
Oh yeah. Luckily there was no lightning or thunder, but it was just the solid constant rain and everything just got soaked. Mm-hmm. So Roger has a tournament while I'm gone. So he's going to have stuff. So he's got to pull the co-angler backpack out and take that because he's fishing with his brother. And so we've got to divide some tackle up. So
I feel for Roger because I know how difficult that is.
I got all the stuff he needs because I was a co-angler for 6 years.
I know you were, and I think that definitely makes your entire perspective super unique, because you did fish as a co-angler for so long. And I think that's one of the reasons that you are so good at what you do from all aspects.
I just every angler I've ever got to fish with for the 6 years I was a co-angler, I just paid attention because when I went into this in 2014, I wasn't even taking my fish off my own hook before I signed up.
Wow.
I met these women. Well, actually, I heard a talk radio out of Nashville, Doug Markham, Outdoors with Doug Markham, and he was interviewing a lady, and she was talking about the lady bass anglers. And I went home and I was like, Roger, they've got a women's tour. And he's just looking at me going, yeah, right. You take a book, you sun, you take a nap. I wasn't fishing. And we went to the Bassmasters Classic that year, and he said, why don't you see if the women are there? And they had a booth in Gunnersville, and I got to meet Cheryl and Secret and Martha Goodfellow. And they were like, the next one's at Old Hickory. It's in your backyard. Why don't you go? And I never caught a keeper fish. I was scared to death. But when I decided to do it, I told him, I said, teach me. He goes, I'm not in the boat with you. I'm like, yeah, I know. So I got to take my own fish off. I got to put my own hooks on, do it all. And he taught me. And every year I just focused on one technique, that I wanted to work on. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it was years before I'd throw a jig just because I kept getting hung up. Mm-hmm. I'm like, no, I want my shaky head. This was what I want to do. I want my shaky head. And so that's what I fished with the majority of the time in Texas rigging. I wasn't a crankbait girl. I wasn't Carolina rig. I threw my shaky head and Texas rig for the majority of the first couple of years I went.
Well, I have a question for you about getting hung up, because I get hung up with a shaky head all the time. And maybe it's just because I'm fishing Percy Priest. But
this is me. I hate a jig.
Well, when we were at Ray Hubbard, I got hung up so many times. I kept breaking off, and especially on day 2, because I went out of the marina on day 2. I mean, I went back there first thing, but the fish were gone. So I had to find my banks that I found during practice, and it was just those rock riprap against the bridges. I was just getting on the side that we were out of the wind because, we know it was The wind was blowing us everywhere.
Yeah.
And I mean, on day 2, I couldn't tell you how many shaky heads I broke off because I just couldn't get them out. And Brooke was like, "Did you break off again?" I'm like, "I can't get it out." I was like, "We got to keep fishing. I got to find that one last fish." And yeah, but luckily we make our own shaky heads. So I told Roger, I said, "We're going to have," and when we sit down and make them, we make enough probably for a year and on different sizes. And so, so it's like, okay, we're going to have to restock because I know I went through 30 shaky heads between practice and the second day of the tournament.
Well, it's cool that you're able to make your own because those things are expensive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we started doing that a few years ago.
Do you guys sell them, or is it just a?
We have. I mean, it's just, and I've had some of the girls ask me for some, and I've sent them to them. I mean, my go-to is the 3/16 or the 1/4 ounce. That's what I throw in a jig. That's what I put on for my Woo Tungstens, for my Texas rigging. Very seldom will you ever see me go any heavier. And I like a 3/0, a 4/0 hook. That's basically it. I don't have a lot of different hook sizes or anything in my box.
That's
my structure bug fits on it, which pretty much anybody knows that's usually my go-to bait is my structure bug, and I put it on a shaky head. I'll Texas rig it, and I'll also put it on my jig. So, what
is a structure bug? Is that actually what it's called?
It used to be called structure bugs by Rage Tail. Now they shorten the name to just rage bugs.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sponsored by them. I'm not on their pro staff. Don't get me wrong. I would love to. So if anybody has the hookup with Strike King, let me know because we go through some serious rage tail. So it was through Strike King. But yeah, it's called a rage bug. But when they first came out, they were called structure bugs.
Now, Strike King is here in Tennessee, I think. I was maybe going to go there to do a podcast interview and kind of tour the facilities and stuff.
Oh.
I haven't lined that up yet, but if
I didn't hear the rest of what you said.
Oh, yeah, somebody cut out. I didn't know who it was.
Okay. I guess it was me. I have new internet here that has been working good so far, but I didn't know how it would be on doing the live tonight. So let me know if
the sense was killing me.
What's that? Yeah.
The sense was killing me. I was.
Let me know if we have any major issues, but no, I was just saying if I get it in with Strike King, I'll let you know.
Okay, I would appreciate it. Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I don't have an in with Strike King. But I'm totally okay with that. Because I love everybody that I represent. So I don't know. Well, you can kind of see. I've already got boxes building for the LBAA giveaways. That'll be at Hickory. And one of them, New Pro Products, has some money in their box that I'm bringing. When I opened that, I was just pretty shocked at what they're donating. So that'll be a good thing. But anyway, so you love Strike King. Do you throw a lot of Strike King or just the Rage Bug?
Just the Rage Bug. We throw the Rage Bugs, the crawls, and for some reason I have a thing about bug because they have a punch bug that I have learned that I like a lot. It's rigid. It's on the wall over there. Probably should have brought one, but it's just short and fat, and it's got a bunch of ridges on it, and of course it looks like a crawl to a point, but the body's different, and but yeah, and I'll use the little chunks that they have. The crawl chunks. Our boat.
You use a lot of Strike King then. Why don't you just reach out and tell them that you want to represent them? That's all you got to do.
I've tried a couple of times. I just guess I'm not reaching the right person. So.
Well, I basically did your resume today.
I
I tried to have the intro be the musical one, but it wouldn't let me do the thumbnail. So I will send that to you.
Please do.
Because it's definitely going to be different than anybody else's, and they'll never know that I did it. And
unless they're watching right now.
Somebody from Strike King is watching.
It could be.
If somebody, usually on Twitter, I've found that a lot of businesses, when they get, although a lot of times it's if you're mad, but a lot of business type things get handled on Twitter. But if somebody could, oh, John, you're on here. If you could tag us and Strike King for this video, that would be great. Maybe somebody will hop on and say something, and I'll do a tag too and see. You never know. I mean, why would they not want to represent you? You're the Pro Rookie of the Year. You've had the Lady Bass Classic 2 years already. I mean,
that was amazing. I mean, yeah. that was something. I mean,
well,
first time it was in my home state on a lake. I'd only fished one other time because we just don't fish Old Hickory. It's about an hour, 15, 20 minutes from our house, but it's just, I mean, it's not just a straight shot. I mean, Nickajack is actually closer to where I live because we hit the interstate and bam, we're there. And of course, going either hitting through Murfreesboro, 840, it's a lot to get there, and the traffic's, pretty bad for us to get there. So we just don't fish Old Hickory a lot. But when they went back in 2016, we went out and pre-fished and found a few fish, but I never dreamed it was gonna end up me winning it. I mean, that was just, and then turning around a couple of years later doing it on Caddo, that I couldn't believe it. I was ecstatic. I still am. I still can't believe I did that, because out of the whole time I have been fishing with the Lady Bass Anglers, those are the only 2 first place finishes I've had. I've had seconds and third. I had a second to you, lady, at Kentucky Lake.
Really?
Mm-hmm. You got
Where
first,
did I miss that?
Huh?
You need to do better on your pictures, because I was going through all of that and I missed that somehow.
Yeah. Well, that was that was probably before I really started posting things. But yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
I lost to you on Kentucky Lake, and that was the first time I'd ever met you.
Oh, me at Kentucky Lake.
You. Yes,
oh,
you.
Okay. So I missed that. I thought you meant that you meant I missed you getting a win or something at Kentucky.
No. I lost to you on Kentucky Lake.
Oh, okay. Yeah, when Cheryl in Secret.
I think it is. I got the plaque on the wall.
Yeah, they surprised me and took me down there, and that was, that was kind of my Sherry Jacks moment. Like it was probably just it was meant for me to win that tournament, more as like an emotional balancing. You know what I mean? Like I won that tournament for other reasons, like it meant the world to me. But yeah, there was a lot of women that were down there for that tournament that I haven't seen fish again, but that I still keep in contact with quite a bit. Mm-hmm. So you were still a co-angler then, huh?
Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I want to know about going from co-angler to pro And then
Okay.
getting Rookie of the Year. I mean, talk about that process.
I'm about an emotional ride.
Wow.
Honestly, when I did the podcast with you at the boat show, remember I announced that in 2021 I was gonna put my big girl panties on and become a boater.
Mm-hmm.
Well, COVID hit and everybody was out of work, everybody was laid off, and Pickwick was the first one coming up, and my husband said, "Why don't you just go as a boater? We're 3 hours from home. I can go with you on this one," because I didn't want to go without him for my first adventure out being a boater. And so I did it and was scared to death, and I was, for some reason, I wound up being boat number one every once in a while, because at one of the days, I think it was day one on Pickwick, I was boat one, and I was scared to death. I'm like, I don't want all these boats passing me. So I just jetted straight across to the bluff wall and waited till everybody left. I'm like, no. And I mean, granted, I wasn't used to fishing that type of current. It was, completely different. I want to bank fish. I don't want to be out in the middle of the water. I want to throw up against the bank and drag my jig, drag my shaky head, and, catch fish like I do at home. And then it snowballed. It went, we went from Pickwick to, where do we go next? It was the second tournament. My boat messed up, and I ended up borrowing John and Angela's on, we were in Hartwell. Sorry. We were at Hartwell, and I ended up borrowing her boat to fish Hartwell. And that gave me a little bit more confidence, because I actually was trekking out a little bit further. And because at Pickwick, I didn't go far at all from the ramp. And, that built my confidence up a little bit, and caught a few fish and lost a few fish. And then, then we ended up having the tournament at, Kane got canceled. So we ended up only having the 3 last year, or 4 counting the classic. And then we ended up going to Truman. And I promise you, if Truman had been first, I don't know if I could have handled the rest of the year, because I was so intimidated. It scared me so bad that Roger and I, we were going down the middle of the river channel, and all of a sudden, boom, 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 I'm hitting stumps that are under the water. And I'm like, wow. What did I do? He's like, you didn't do anything wrong, honey. The water's low, and they're just there. And so, yeah, I had a couple meltdowns at Truman. Of course, we had the truck trouble. Transmission went out. We had to rent the U-Haul.
Right, that was you at Truman.
That was me. And,
you came in a U-Haul. You came in a U-Haul. Well, you pulled the boat with a U-Haul. You didn't come in a U-Haul.
Yeah, it was just a very nerve-wracking whole week. But
what dedication?
I ended up pulling it off for Rookie of the Year. I still don't know how I did that, but dumb luck, I guess.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't think that's just dumb. Nobody can get a Rookie of the Year or an Angler of the Year. Something that requires complete consistency. You can't just get it by luck.
I was really shocked. I was like, oh my God, me? Really?
You totally learned that.
Ladies that were doing very well, but it just happened. It worked out, and that was a big confidence booster to me. I'm like, okay, let's get ready for Texas. And
yeah,
I did. I don't know if y'all remember, but I posted getting both those maps. I was studying. I was looking at the maps on my phone, seeing where we were taking off at, where I wanted to start. And that marina that day, that was the first place we went to Sunday on practice.
Wow.
Never went back.
And then you're like, nobody saw me in here.
I mean, we saw other people fishing around, but they weren't fishing where we were. We were in the very backs of the pockets of the marina. And it was just, we never went back, never touched them. And then we started finding, we tried to find a few other marinas, but they just didn't have, the backs of them weren't the same compared to this one. And it's like, okay, we need to find some banks, some riprap, because let's face it, that's pretty much all else you got unless you're going to be fishing really deep. And that's not me. And I just, we knew the wind was going to be bad. And so it's like, okay, on this day it's coming out of the north, I need to be on the other side of this bridge. It's coming out of the south, I need to be on this side of this bridge. So let's find fish on days that I know I can swap up. And it worked out. And it just, Roger couldn't believe I was catching them with this yum dinger June bug. All my fish came on that, except for the one that I caught with the one Sherry Jacks gave me, the chatterbait. Because let's face it, she kicked my butt in the back of that boat with that chatterbait. I mean, she had more weight with 3 fish than I did with 4. And she caught that big kicker. And I was like, okay, let's see if I can catch something here or there. And I caught one of my fish on day 2 on that white chatterbait.
Nice. And I'm not
too proud to learn what was working. But we never hit a moving bait the whole time we were practicing.
Yeah, and I mean, why wouldn't you throw that? I mean, anybody would. If you see somebody catching them on something else, I mean, yeah, you're going to throw it. I mean, you'd almost kind of be a dodo bird if you didn't. She
only had 2 with her, and I went, no, I've got a white chatterbait in this boat somewhere. I know I do, because that's just not something I throw. And I broke my rule of don't be doing something that you don't normally do.
Yeah.
But I'm watching her, and I'm like, I can do this. This is not rocket science of what she's doing. She's just throwing it up, letting it sink, and throwing it back in, and hammering it. And I had one in my boat, and tied it on, and like I said, I caught one of my fish on it, and then she ended up she got hung up and had to break hers off. I said, see, you needed that chatterbait because she hadn't caught that 6-pounder yet. So it was a great day. I mean, and I told her when we were at the meeting, I said, if they're still there, I said, we'll stay in that marina all day long. And we did. We never left.
Did you watch the interview that we did with Sherry when she called her day with you magical?
Yes.
You did? I mean, you have to admit that, that made you feel good, right? To have a co-angler say that her day with you was magical. I mean,
and that made me feel good. I mean, I fished with a bunch of women with the lady bass anglers over the years, and I've always felt comfortable with every single one of them I fished with, and nobody's ever been, made me feel like I wasn't doing what I needed to be doing. Everybody's cheering each other on, and I've been extremely lucky with some of the draws I've had. I said, because I've had some women that's taught me things, and and I just watch them, and I thought if I could at least give some of that back to my co-anglers. Now, I mean, I was holding out for that co-angler of the year. I wanted it bad. And that's why I kept holding off on it. And plus I was chicken too, but I was like, I'm not gonna lie. And it's just like, I kept having everybody, you just need to do it. And I finally stepped up and did it. And it's been exciting. It has. I mean, it's taken me a while, but
well, you're crushing it, and you've got to be on. Your confidence has got to be high right now with getting that Rookie of the Year, having such a great tournament on Ray Hubbard, where a lot of us struggled. So I'm excited to see what happens at Hickory.
3rd place, right?
Yep, 3rd place.
Texas sucked.
Honestly,
I mean, it sucked, right?
I
You know,
didn't think so, but I mean, yeah, I mean, it was difficult, but I like going to Texas. I like fishing Louisiana. You know, for some reason, I like their lakes. I mean, I when we went to Toledo Bend, I finished second. I mean, I don't know what it is, but I know they like this worm.
well,
I've thrown it to all three lakes, and all three lakes have brought me home a trophy. So
Junebug, yum dinger.
yep.
I'm not going to forget that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter because I'm not fishing against either one of you. But I mean,
It was just
Taking notes.
I know you think I'm kidding. I'm not kidding at all. but here's the thing: is like, I mean, like you fish in Louisiana, Angie. You've got a lot better waters than I do here. Our water temperatures are still 55.
Mm.
Like when I headed to Texas, I mean, I even said it to Sherry. Like I was like, it's the end of March. I'm not taking a stupid spinning reel, spinning outfit. I took it just to say that I did, but it was the end of March. Our tournament sucked for what our tournament should have been with the expectations, of Texas at the end of March. But it was like that all over Texas because they had just had that freeze. And with the snow that they had, and then the temperatures, and then the storms that went through. I mean, we couldn't have had worse conditions, but I would love to have North Carolina set up for us under pristine conditions, just once.
Yeah.
Just
I've been
once.
checking the weather every day. I'm checking the 10-day forecast.
I'm almost afraid because right now it almost looks pretty steady going into that. So I'm like, I don't want to jinx it. I'll stop.
I don't either.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't want to either because I'm tired of rain. I'm tired of really cold, and I'm tired of all that. But if that's what it ends up being, I guess we'll just have to deal with it. But that's
and that's one thing, I mean, to consider is it's like, okay, if it's tough for me, it's tough for every other co-angler on the lake, and if it's tough for Angie, it's tough for you, it's tough for Secret, it's tough for Cheryl. We're all in the same conditions. So I guess theoretically it doesn't matter, but it would be nice for, like I forget what year it was that you guys were on. Is it Cato or Caddo?
I say Caddo.
Caddo, okay. In my parts, nobody would say Caddo. We would say Cato. But, I forget what tournament it was that you all were there, but it was like everybody had limits, everybody had big fish, and it was just like, wow, it looked like a really good tournament in good conditions, and and I'm really hoping that's going to be the case for us in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
We're hoping.
Oh, sorry, I might have paused out a second there. Speaking of tough conditions, what was day 2 of Truman like for you, Deanna? Because that was a tough day out there. It was cold, raining, and miserable. How did you get through that?
Well, I mean, like I said, I went back to the marina that morning. We only stayed for about 2 or 3 hours just because I'm like, okay, they're not here because day 1, second, third cast, Sherry and I were doubling up. We had a double, and it was just, I'm like, they're not here, so I'm gonna have to go find my my riprap, and I'm like, okay, I knew that I had certain spots, and on Ray Hubbard, I noticed that if you started at the very beginning of the bridge, you had to go down almost 3/4 the way before you started finding fish. I don't know why. That was just what was happening with me. So I had my spots picked out, and we went and that's just what we were doing. We were running the bridges, but we had to go down about 3/4 the way down before, and we had to find the deeper water where they could get to deeper water. I mean, I caught a 5'11" during practice, but she was in 20 feet of water. I was just dragging under the boat, and I thought, what the heck? Why not? And hammered it. But the way the wind was blowing on day 2, I couldn't fish that bank. There was no way it was going to blow me right into it. So I just had to pick my spots to get out of the wind.
Yeah,
that's what I did.
That's what was big on Ray Hubbard, was just getting out of that wind. It really controlled where we could fish, and especially me. I've got that big T-top on there, and so it does create a little bit of a challenge. But I'm looking forward to Hickory because it does look like it's going to be a little bit better conditions for us.
I like Hickory. It reminds me of some of the lakes at home. It reminds me of Normandy. I know you've been to Normandy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit bigger than Normandy, but it reminds me a lot of that. Granted,
oh, good.
Normandy doesn't have houses like Hickory does. Hickory has a lot of boat docks, and which I like. I like flipping boat docks, so pitching boat docks.
Uh-oh. Pam Ridgel's coming after everybody.
That's one thing I've been practicing, and every once in a while, and I told Roger this Saturday, I said, I skipped one, and I know it went 10 times. And I went, oh, I was so proud of myself. And I said, I need to do this when it really matters, not
You're
just
like, I did it one time. Now I just need to do it every time.
Every single time, and not backlash.
I don't know if you guys have ever, well, I'm sure you have, Deanna. You've been on the boat with Pam, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Texas. That was the first time I got to witness the skipping under the docks.
If you haven't been, like, the people that haven't been on her boat, it is insanity what she can do. I mean, she'd just destroy people, when it comes to those hot summer, days, being able to do that. I'm just in awe of her, when it comes to stuff like that.
The first time I saw her, I was like, I need to learn how to do that. That's another thing on my list to learn how to do. And I can do it okay.
My dad belong here.
I can't do it like that.
I got about 4 days to figure that out. So
no pressure.
No pressure.
Man, well, and when we were interviewing Sherry, I had told her when she explained her day with you, I have to know, like, with your decision, because she had said, well, Deanna told me that we're going to go down this wall this way, and then we're going to flip and turn, and then we're going to go down it this way, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to, and you, I think, were listening at that point, and I'm just like, because there's not a lot, and it's not just like the women's tour, the men's tour, like there's not a lot of boaters that are going to be that open, courteous. I mean, put whatever word you want on it, but if they're fishing something specific like that, until they have their 5, they're not going to be that whatever with their co-angler. So why do you do the things the way that you do them?
Well, I just being a co-angler, like I said, for as long as I was, it was nice whenever I had a boater that would say, all right, bring your favorite plastic, we're going shallow. Some would tell me, we're just going to go fishing. And you really wouldn't get a whole lot of information. But, I mean, it's up to me to figure out what needs to be done. And it's like, I want to help my co-anglers. I want the sport of women's fishing to grow. And if I can be positive for, for my co-anglers to help them go, hey, I can do this. It took me a minute, but I finally did it. And to just go fishing. And did I hurt myself in the end probably doing that? Maybe, but I had a great day. We made a great team. And, she made certain, the back of the boat wasn't going to go into the wall. She saved 2 of my fish. I mean, we worked as a team. And, she was, even though we weren't team fishing, we were both in that boat. And at the end of the day, we wanted each other to do well. Lord, she quit fishing for the last 2 hours, because I needed that one last fish. She didn't wet a line for the last 2 hours. And I'm like,
Wow.
You know what? And these are the things that I want people to know about the women's tour. Like I tell people different things on and off, but there's just no way that if they're not hearing these broadcasts, if they're not going to the tournaments, to the weigh-ins, to talk to us, there's just no way that they could ever know the amount of respect that we have for each other on and off the water as humans, Secret talking about Terry Sendrick, and her father, and, us being close with each other's families, and just all of that together. This is what I want people to know. For her to say, I'm not going to fish because I don't want to take any fish from you. And that's exactly what Pam Ridgel did for me. She stayed up there and she worked that trolling motor for me all day long, but she didn't pick up a rod. That is amazing.
That is amazing.
I love those types of stories that really showcase our anglers individually, what we do for each other. It
was just fate that I turned on the radio that morning on the way to work and listened to that outdoor show. I was working a Saturday morning and I heard about the Lady Bass Anglers, and I met them. I bought a t-shirt. I walked into the Leeds Bass Pro Shop with it on the next day, and a lady walks up to me and sticks her hand out and says, "Are you a member?" And I'm like, "A member of what?" I forgot I had the shirt on. And she went, "The Lady Bass Anglers." I said, "I'm talking to them. I haven't, decided yet." And she gave me her card and she goes, "You call me, you text me, you email me any question you have." And we stood there and talked to her. And it was Martha and her husband, Martha Goodfellow. And I did. I texted her emailed every question I could think of to how do I pay out, if I need to go to the bathroom, what am I got to do? What if this happens? What if that happens? What do I need to bring? And
always ask the bathroom question for anybody.
Always ask the bathroom question.
That's all. I'll tell you. That's amazing that you entered the LBAA without being able to take a fish off the hook and do stuff like that. So anybody who's listening that doesn't have a lot of experience, know this. We will help you. We will teach you. That is what we're here for. That is what the co-angler status is for, is, you get to refine your skills. You get to learn from the pros. That's one of the things that y'all are here for. Luckily
I had my husband. I had a few months and I said, "Teach me."
Yeah.
And he said, he's like, "No, take it off. I've showed you. And I finally had to get in there and take it off and, learn how to measure, learn what a spot was, learn what, I already knew what a smallmouth was, but telling the difference between a largemouth and a spot, that can be confusing when you don't know.
Alyssa Johnson, she's on here, and she says, "You're doing great. Very proud of you." And then she also says, "These ladies are a big family." She's right. I mean, that's literally, that's true. And I saw a comment from John Mayo too.
I can't see it.
Angela does amazing all the time too.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing my girl. I hadn't seen her in a while.
Is she going to fish with us?
Yeah, I'm staying with her. Yes, she'll be there. She's helping getting it all put together.
Is she fishing pro or co?
Pro.
Okay. Thank God. I was going to say, if she's fishing as a co, I'm getting my money back.
No, you're not.
Oh.
Pam Horn said Cane River should set up nice too.
Who said that?
Pam Horn.
Oh, I hope. Although I haven't made a decision yet on Cane. That's
this one I'll be going solo, so this will be my first solo trip. So I am packing up Friday and heading out first thing Saturday morning because I want to beat the traffic and not go over that mountain.
Black Mountain. It's gonna be fun.
Black Mountain. So
I mean, a lot of
times, I'm pulling the boat by myself. So
a lot of times, don't you guys run into each other on the road? I mean, because girls are from like different areas, but you guys take the same highways.
Oh yeah, I know. There'll be somebody coming through if I need help, but it's just
we'll be behind you.
Farther than that, but I've either been following Roger with the camper or something.
So
he's not going to be able to go with me this time.
When we picked up the boat in South Carolina at the Key West factory and brought it home, we had to go over Black Mountain, and we're not really looking forward to that. Let me just say.
Yeah, I'll be in a car. I don't have to pull anything.
And that's one reason why I'm not super upset I couldn't get a reservation with the truck camper, because pulling the truck camper and the boat over Black Mountain for a first big trip, that would be kind of scary.
Yeah.
Is Angela says somebody says I'll be there. I guess that's Angela.
I guess. I don't know.
Let's see. Oh, yep, it is Angela.
Oh, is it? It didn't come through to me. I'm not really sure why.
It's she's watching on the Woman Angler and Adventure group feed.
Oh, okay. That might be why it didn't come through on StreamYard. Just real quick, since this is kind of a long description at the bottom, one of the sponsors for Deanna is Vector Hooks. And I think this is really, really cool that they offer a lifetime discount of 35% off. That it's called their Heroes Lifetime Discount, and that's for past and present fire, EMS, and military. So all you have to do is to email them at info@vectorhooks.com. And they're also actually taking applications to be on their pro staff too. So
the police too.
Do what?
The police too.
I still didn't get that.
Police.
Oh, police.
Yeah.
I didn't put that on there. Fire, EMS, military. Okay, and police. I guess I didn't. Okay. So you can reach out to them at any point to do that. Do they have a deadline for pro staff, or is it just kind of open-ended?
Right now, I'm guessing it's open-ended because when I messaged him today, he said, please be sure to tell him we're still looking for pro staff members.
Okay.
And asked him about the Heroes discount, and he said yes. So.
Okay, good deal. And another one that I didn't put up just a little bit earlier was, oops, that was the wrong one. I'm sorry. Was this one. And just real quick, because I already signed up for the email list. Tell us just a little bit about this real quick.
The pink turtle soaps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is my daughter-in-law.
Okay.
Makes all handmade soaps, all natural, out of her house, and she ships them all over the place. They're wonderful. A few years ago, I actually was able to put a sample in everybody's bag at the Classic one year. So my plan is to get some more and give some samples out again. But
I looked at it just for a couple of minutes and I saw that peppermint candy or something like that. And I'm like, I want to be on the email list. So
one of my favorites actually is peppermint, and the white cotton or fresh linen. She has one that I really like. And they have men's favorites, women's. That she has a one that's just all natural with no dyes. If somebody has any kind of sensitivity to that,
nice.
She's doing a great job at it. And do me a favor, their household has got hit with the COVID right now, and so say a little prayer for them.
Absolutely,
will do.
We keep kind of a running prayer, list on the channel because the whole fishing community, has really been hit hard, so definitely we'll keep her, in our thoughts and prayers. And if you guys are looking for, new soaps or anything, definitely, check this out. They have an email newsletter that you can sign up for. So you can also do that. And then I want to put this up for you, Deanna, make sure that I got this right. That for them to get free shipping on their orders, do they need to request to be a member of your private Facebook group? They should just
let me know that they're part of the Lady Bass Anglers. But if they're on my In and Outdoor Cosmetics Facebook page, then they can see any kind of specials I have, and
okay.
So it's easier if they'll want to join the group page.
Okay.
And it's In and Outdoors Cosmetics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I just had that a little bit worded wrong. Quite a bit worded
wrong. That's myself sponsoring me.
Okay, gotcha.
That's trying to help pay for some of the little bit increased, cost that it's costing,
everything.
So.
No, I get it. I totally get it. Yeah, and for everybody, I'm gonna have these websites and the codes and everything, because if you'll see, there is a code here for Woo Tungsten, where you can get a discount. They make some really good weights. I know that's their main seller, right? Is weights and stuff. Yeah. So you can use that discount code, and then I showed that 35% off. But I'm going to put all of this in the description on the YouTube page once it's finalized for the Woman Angler and Adventurer. Or I'm sorry, I just said that because Angie disappeared. But it'll be on Women's World of Fishing, Monday Night Takeover, that official page. And there she is.
Sorry about that. I clicked a button and it kicked me out.
That's okay. I can even add it to the description on the Woman Angler and Adventurer just because I saw your name disappear. But yeah, I know, right? So this will be posted on that official page, so you can get all of these, the web pages, the codes, anything pretty much that you want. I will also probably be attaching the resume that I made for Miss DeAnna that also includes her social media contacts as well, because she has Instagram, she has a YouTube page, she has Facebook, and that way you can also get in contact with her to any questions that they have, in regards to sponsors, fishing. And also, this is just for me, hopefully you'll agree to this, but you're a really good role model, DeAnna. You really are. For any woman trying to get into the sport. And so is it okay if, somebody that's coming in, to the sport, if they have questions, is it okay if they contact you? Okay.
Absolutely.
Because I
love to talk
think
to anybody.
I'm sorry, what?
I would love to talk to anyone who wants to talk to me.
Okay. I appreciate that, because I do kind of try and keep a list of women that are good role models and helpful and stuff. And, I pass it around from time to time. And you're just a really good role model. So I appreciate that.
Thank you.
You're a great influence, so I'll put you on that. And, everybody that's listening, if you're watching this on replay, DeAnna Lovvorn, 2020 LBAA Pro Rookie of the Year, third place at the first tournament, Ray Hubbard this year. What's she going to do?
Roll.
Who knows what she'll do at Hickory? Who am I going to draw at Hickory?
Ooh.
Maybe you'll draw me.
I've never drawn you. I know who I'm going to draw. I'm going to draw Secret. That's who I'm going to draw. Because I am Secret's banana. I am her human fishing banana.
She doesn't need that because she did really good last year, the last time we were there.
When she drew me at Hubbard, we made eye contact and she goes, I'm just bad luck for her, and then of course she got sick. So that was like the worst.
It continues.
Yeah. So
we gotta break the streak. Be positive.
Yeah. You know what? I love the experience. I love the experience. If the fishing's good, the fishing's good. If it's not, I love the experience. I think you were in the creek with me and Terry Bittner during the,
Yeah,
that
was me.
Was in there. Yeah. With the poncho. When you were eating breakfast and we had to figure out how I was going to pee. Yeah. DeAnna was the voters back there with us. Mm-hmm.
We were all trying to hide from the storms, what we were trying to do.
I just don't know how you guys did that.
We had to figure out how to not get my base layer wet while I was going to pee. Everybody can check out that episode on the Woman Angler and Adventure episode. I don't remember what episode it was, but it was.
See if I can find it real quick.
Episode 2 or chapter 2. I don't know, but we talk all about day number 2 at Truman Lake. It was the most miserable day.
awomanangler.com/156. Faulty hand warmers and belly laughs.
Yes. We were not drunk. And
we were delirious is what we were.
In my defense, Angie was supposed to cut or edit all of that out.
It was too good.
But
I had to leave it in.
So
if I ever need a laugh, I know where to go.
It was so much fun, though. It really was.
That's what it's all about at the end of the day. I mean, I'm a little frustrated after Ray Hubbard, but you can't focus on that. You got to focus on the fun.
Right. The experience.
Otherwise, what's the point, right?
The experience. I mean, look at how big our family is. You know, we have a huge extended family. Huge extended family.
Mm-hmm.
I had until I got sick, I never knew how big my family was. You know, a lot of people, like, when the chips are down, they find out that their support system really sucks. I was fortunate. Oh, I'm going to try not to get upset. I was fortunate enough to find out mine is really big. And that's a blessing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So we have good people with the LBAA, you know, and that's the amazing part, you know? So I love it. Alyssa says, great job, ladies. Thank you. I can't wait to have you in the hot seat. I'll have to get some stories on you. Thank you so much, John. I'm going to be doing some giveaways for you soon. I'm going to be doing some beef jerky and coffee giveaways. So do you guys have anything else? Have we missed anything?
I don't think so.
I'm killing mosquitoes. I got mosquitoes in my houseboat flying around for some reason.
Oh, I got cicadas coming my way, so.
Just
All
one
right.
quick thing. If anybody's interested in the jerseys, MC Pro Nation worldwide. Marcio, he is awesome. It's like wearing art. It's not a cookie cutter company where everything looks the same. He makes it individual for you. You pick colors that you want. I told him, I said, I want some blue, some yellow, and told him what sponsors I wanted to put on, and he created this. And nice. I love my colors. So
he does jerseys?
Yes.
And does he do any other apparel or anything like that? Or is it strictly jerseys?
But mostly it's the jerseys. He does the jackets, the hoodies, but which I have the jacket that goes with this one. And of course the buffs match. The buffs are the same colors at whatever he uses for your jersey. And he's awesome.
Sweet.
Very cool.
Well, everybody, that'll be on the description and everything as well. So if you guys are looking for a new jersey, you know, go ahead and check that out. You know, it's best to get those early in the year because the jersey makers, they start running behind. So, all righty. Well, I guess I will see you guys
shortly.
Well, yeah, actually, that's right. Yeah, we'll be filming next week in Hickory, North Carolina. So
excited! Can't wait.
I won't be rolling in until Monday.
All right.
So y'all make sure to practice hard on Saturday or on Sunday. All right. You guys have a good night. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thanks, Deanna.
Night. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Bye-bye.